Hello everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to our installation of Global Professional Free Webinar. Thank you all for joining and stay with us till the end. My lovely audience, today I am your host and my name is Yarni Sakhtar and I am from Bangladesh. Dear audience, I am proud to be associated with IGP as a global member. I feel honored and privileged to host this webinar. It's my delight to welcome you all to our institution of Global Professional Free Webinars. Thank you all uh, for joining us today in this marvelous afternoon. And it's my humble request to and pleasure to all of you stay with us till the end. And don't forget to tag, share, and mention your friends. Institution of Global Professionals serves student and community resource, providing holistic social work and education for create a competent generation. IGP is a leading on online skill development institute with thousands of learners worldwide. Institution of Global Professional is an educational institution provides social work with globally recognized. We organized our webinar training offline online courses. It's web based and trained speaker and coaches from all the world. Our mission is to empower people, and we have already completed 1,000 free webinars successfully. Let me remind you again, don't forget to tag, share, and mention your friends. So now we'll start our webinar. So let's watch together and learn together. Today our webinar now is 1004 and our topic is top principles from psychology for teaching and learning. And our speaker name is Rita Mary M. She's from India. She is a psychology teacher and guidance counselor in ISAKI Vidashram, Tanvi. Let's welcome our speaker.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Well, welcome, ma'am, in our webinar. Uh, Ma'am, first you have to give your some description about yourself, then you can start your presentation.
So, good afternoon to one and all. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm I'm a psychotherapist. I'm from Tengasi, which is located in South India. So, I'm Rita Mary Parlo Horaj recently because before I started, but I didn't announce that I got married. But now I'm so happy to announce that I got married, who is my husband, and he's also helping me to do this side works and all. He is my backbone also. So now I'm working as a psychology teacher, which I'm handling 11th and 12th grade students, as well as I'm giving guidance counseling from pre-KG to 12th standard. So I'm so happy to be here, and I'm conducting more webinars and seminars to all categories people. Particularly, my areas of interest is positive psychology, which is focuses on humanistic and integrative approach. So it's fine to begin my session. So today we are going to talk about principles of learning. So we knew that each and everything has a principles. The same thing, learning also have principles. So to begin with, what is the principles of learning? Just I'll tell you what is learning first. Yeah, we already knew that without learning, the wise become foolish. By learning, the foolish become wise. So keep this the first thing in your heart, because everyone, we are not wise, but we are becoming wise by learning. So I request all of you to get ready for 5 minutes meditation, which help us to become aware and which helps us to concentrate throughout this session. So I request all of you to kindly get ready for this. just you sit and close your eyes and concentrate in your breath, which help to remove all the things. Maybe there are some sounds you can hear sounds from all around, but try to concentrate on your breath. Today we are going to something new, which is helpful for our life. We are not getting the thing we would like. We are getting we would like to get. So just you think place yourself in one place. Everything like your body, muscle, it can to yourself that I'm going to find out myself. I'm going to learn something new. Yeah. And now we are to learn new. Yeah.
Ma'am, your video is and
In the presentation.
ma'am, do you want video share?
Yes. Let's go. What is learning? So today we are going to see a new concept. We already knew that what is learning, but today I'm going to talk about from psychology background, because in current situation psychology becomes important, and we can't separate psychology from our body, mind and soul. because we are learning new things on based on psychology in current scenario. So today I'm going to tell you what is learning according to psychology. Learning is one of the important psychological process determine the human behavior. Learning is the process accumulation of knowledge, skills and attitudes. So learning may be through learning, training, experience, reading, observation, discussions, electronic media, including internet experimentation, facing the new challenges like travel and giving training and development is more tools for learning. Then, learning is not one at a time activity. It is an annual, half yearly, quarterly, and if I want to say within a one sentence, it is a continuous process. So, what they are telling is learning is always a continuous process. Learning is also an important source of motivation, stimulation, and job satisfaction. So, now if we want to make our life 100%, what are the things help us within that 26 alphabets? For example, skills it helps only 82%, and knowledge only 96%, hard work only 98%, but our attitudes makes our life 100%. So, if overall it simply means that permanent change in behavior through education, training, practice, and experience. This is a humble and simple definition for learning. So, in learning, there are two types passive learning and active learning. So, in this picture, we can see in active learning what is happening and passive learning what is happening. And so, here I have given the difference between education and learning. See, this training is concerned with the teaching of specific factual narrow scoped subject matter and skills. For example, we can tell about ITI in the sense information technology training. Okay, then ITI, then polytechnic courses. These all are the things. Training is only subject matter and skills, which is narrow scoped skills, and it is a formal classroom learning activities that is called training. Then development is concerned with a broader subject matter of conceptual or theoretical nature and the development of personal attitudes. It is comprises all learning experience both on and off the job, including formal and classroom training. So what is education? Education primarily involves the presentation of a material. For example, if we are studying about Tamil subject or Hindi or English, whatever subject we are studying or we would like to study, we need a material. Without material we can't do anything. So this education helps us to learn through presentation of material, to learn things. And what is learning? Learning is something, it is a process of acquiring knowledge. So I'll tell you again, the training means is a narrow spaced subject matter. Okay. Then what is development? Development is a conceptual and a theoretical nature. And another meaning is that personal attitudes. And what is education? Education provides the presentation of material by a faculty to students. But learning is a process. There is no one need to teach you anything. You can teach to yourself. So I hope that you are understood the difference between training, development, education, and learning. Now, now we are entering into the principles of learning. The first one, see, according to APA, APA in the sense American Psychological Association. American Psychological Association determined, and they come to a conclusion finally by brought up top 20 principles from psychology for pre-KG to 12th grade teach for teaching and learning. So it is a globalized, scientifically proved principles. So I hope that it will be more useful to you. So kindly note it down each and every point, because it is very much important for teachers who all are teaching the students, not only at school. You even you are teaching in the tuition centers or online coaching, whatever teaching method you are using, that doesn't matter, but you should know the principles to teach as well as to learn from the others. So let's begin. See, there are five kinds of principles. So among 20 principles, they divide into five. See, here we can see the 20 principles of teaching and learning. So let's say one by one. But overall, I mentioned only in one picture. So let's go one by one. Again, I tell you the top 20 principles are categorized into five areas of psychological functioning. So the first one is thinking and thinking and learning. So here the principles 1 to 8 describes how the people think and learn. It is called based on cognition. Okay, the second thing based on motivation, what motivates children. So this second category includes principle 9 to 12. And the third category social emotional learning, as well as social context and interpersonal relationship and emotional well-being. These three things, how it helps or how it impacts learning. See, these are the third category. And the fourth category, classroom management, how classroom management by teacher affects the learning of the children. So these includes principle 16 to 17. And the final one, assessment, how can educator assess children's progress. It involves principle 18 to 20. So the first one, see, let's see here. Students beliefs or perception about intelligence and ability affect their cognitive function and learning. See, under this category, I would conclude. I would differentiate between growth mindset and a fixed mindset. We already knew that what are the things very much important for fixed mindset and a growth mindset. We all are people. We used to ignore things whenever other corrects us or other helps us to come up in life. We used to ignore them, or we used to make ourselves in a one particular small circle. We used to fix us within a small circle. So we have to look at our mindset. So according to principle 1, what they are saying is our mindset determines our learning. So that it is a duty of the teachers, one should encourage the students to have a growth mindset. So, what they are saying, growth mindset is the belief that one's intelligence, ability, performance can be improved. The opposite is a fixed mindset, which is a belief that person's talents are set in stone. That's why I told we try to put ourselves in a small circle. So, what are the things we can do as a teachers? Say, I'll show the difference between fixed mindset and growth mindset. Fixed mindset people always avoids challenges. They stay away from things what they do not know, and they are unable to handle criticism or feedback. They used to obsess and they used to cry for everything. And intelligence and talents, it's a static. I can do only this much. I cannot do again or I cannot do further anymore. So this is called fixed mindset. But what about this growth mindset people? They used to see all the challenges as a opportunities. They acknowledge and embrace their weakness. They give and receive constructive criticism. They never afraid about criticism. Always they receive criticism as an change themselves. And intelligence and talent is dynamic and ever improving. They used to improve again and again. They never be within a one particular multiply their talents and prioritize learning over seeking approval. For they used to work for an approval also. They always inspire people because of their growth mindset. In a nutshell, if I want to say that growth mindset people are proactive people, fixed mindset people are reactive people. This is a nutshell definition for fixed mindset and growth mindset. Given an example, challenge your limiting beliefs by playing the yet game. Then, as a teacher, what can we do? See, it's just simple. See and help your students each and everything, help them to look everything in a positive way. That is the only one main thing which a teacher can do. Okay. Then second principle, what students already know that affects their learning. See, I am working in a school. Even we prepared a lot and lot, but after we came to a class, if a students have already knowledge about the subject, it's very much difficult for the teacher to teach them. It is a main thing and main concept, main difficulties which teachers are facing today's world. Because learning always consists of two things. Okay, the first one, conceptual growth and conceptual change. I'll tell you what are the two things. See, conceptual growth by encouraging students to engage in meaningful interactions. Sorry. Yeah. Conceptual growth is nothing. What already? It's a good. Conceptual growth is good. But a conceptual change, it's difficult. But we have to transform from their knowledge. What shall we do this? A baseline assessment. So, through baseline assessment, a teacher can know whether they need to add information or change students' misconceptions on that topic. So, what shall we do for this? See, those who have conceptual growth, we can encourage the students to engage in meaningful interactions, including reading and applying. Those who have a misconception about the topic, we can help the students by presenting students with the information that proves that their misconceptions are wrong. Where we can help the students to come out of their misconception on the topic. So this is the way is called conceptual change. So the first one is orientation. Try to give orientation about that a particular topic. Then you give that ideas like reconstructing the idea, restructuring of ideas. First you have to clarify all the doubt. Then exposure conflict. If there is a conflict, just you exposure it and you have to come out of the conflict. Then construction, the finally evaluation. These are the important things where the teacher can do the where the teacher helped the students to learn many things. Then third thing, students' cognitive development and learning are not limited by general stages of development. What is this called general stages of development? It's nothing. It is called, there is already lots and lots of people talked about general states of development. Eric Erickson talks about psychosocial development, and already Piaget talks about cognitive development. So lots and lots of people were talked about the humanities stages of development. But after lots and lots of scientific proved that students' cognitive development and learning are not limited by general stages of development. Then, by which it can be developed? See, there are lots and lots of things: genetic factors, superior knowledge in that topic, interaction with more challenging material, and socio-cultural context. So, in that sense, what can teacher can do that? Using baseline assumptions or it. Some ways to develop students' reasoning further include encourage students' reasoning in areas they are familiar with. The second thing, presenting information that is challenging yet achievable. Then third thing, using mixed ability group. Then fourth, finally, encouraging peer club collaboration to help familiarize students with different cultures of the classroom. So these are the things which their teacher can help the students to learn in many things. Then fourth point, learning is based on context. So, generalizing learning to new contexts is not spontaneous, but it instead needs to be facilitated. To learn context, we need to facilitate the student. What is context? We want to, it contains definition, examples, and explanation. But most of the time, as a teachers, what we are doing, we are simply just after reading the book, we are we are orally we are explaining. Very very important. We want to facilitate the students to learn the context by following what is the definition of the topic, just to includes all the examples and explain it. So learning is based on different contexts include subject, specific, individual tasks, social interactions, and situational settings. So, as a teacher, what shall we do for this? Because it's a very much difficult to make the children to understand the contexts. So, through here I mentioned some of the ways where you can help the student to facilitate. Building on students' strengths. Then second thing, teaching a topic in a multiple contexts. Don't go only like a river, like a flow. Just you stop and give a break for each and every context. Then only when you give a break, that break helps the students to remember all the things. Then comparing and contrasting different contexts, focusing on the underlying context. Finally, help the students apply their knowledge into the real world, because nowadays the students are only studying only for a academic purpose. Kindly help the students how they want to apply all the knowledge into real world. Then fifth principle, it is very 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 important principle in learning. It's nothing, practice makes perfect. We already knew that. Always when we have a practice for a long time, that helps us to become a habit. So we are there is a 1 day 21-day practice. When we practice one thing for 21 days, it becomes our habit. So what they are telling, Deliberate practice is a key to transferring information from a student's short term memory to long term memory. That's why we are teaching alphabet from ABCD. Sorry, from pre KG. That's why we are unable to forget till our death. So try to make your children or your students to practice more and more, which helps them or which helps them to transform information from short term memory to long term memory. So this type of practice involves attention, rehearsal, and repetition over a time. Within a time we can't do anything. So try to enjoy each and every practice which helps you to improve your learning. So are more likely to remember the information in the long time. When you practice, what is happening? It can apply elements of knowledge automatically, then free up cognitive resources to learn more challenging topics, transfer skills to new and complex problems, and this practice are more motivated to learn always. So, for this, as a teacher, what we have to do, like how we can motivate children to do practice. As I said, the first thing, you have to keep test, like unit test, integration tests, end to end tests. Always when you make the children to write tests often, that is the best method to learn many things. The second thing, inter-revealed practice in the sense, you have to make the children to learn with break. For example, if the child is studying for 25 minutes, then you have to give him a 5 minutes break, then 25 minutes studies, then 5 minutes break. So these kind of inter-revealed practice, like spaced repetition, helps the students to study or to learn in a better manner. Then second thing, just you make the children learn by assigning a task. Study one question within 10 minutes. So this is one kind of task. After achieving this task, you can provide him with the reward. So these kind of tasks help the students to learn in a better manner. Then the sixth point is that students learning should be clear, explanatory, and timely. Feedback to students is very important for learning. See, after each and every class or after each and every test or examination, you should give a feedback. It should be clear, regular, specific, explanatory, and timely feedback. Because when we used to give a continuous feedback, they feel very happy that the teacher understood me. But we are not doing it, all these things right now. Just we are teaching them like anything. Just we are uh, leaving from our school. So it's very important to give a feedback. Then, what are the things we can give as a feedback? The first one, kindly tell about their strength. And the second thing, what they can do it in the future. And the third thing, receive feedback in a timely manner. We also receive feedback about us also, because we are thinking that we are genius. No, we are not at all genius. We are also learning from the students, as well as we are also teaching to the students. So it's very important to receive a feedback. Then address significant aspects of their work, because children always, whenever they work, no, always there is a significant achievements. So kindly point it out, that whenever you point it out their positive things, they feel very happy, they feel motivated, and they are praised in the right way. See, for example, if the child got only 20 out of 35, Okay, and sorry, if there is a poor child who has a or slow learner who is got already marks only for 30 out of 100 the first time. The second time, if the child got 100, sorry, 31 out of 100, just you motivate them because he increased one mark in his examination. Okay, so the feedback, it should be in a right way. Then the seventh point, students' self-regulation assists learning and self-regulatory skills can be taught. Because self-regulation is very, 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 very important. What it includes, the self-regulation, it includes willpower, executive functioning, flexibility, effortful control, limitations, sorry, emotional regulation, self control, and self management. These are the main things which includes in self regulation. So as a teacher, we also should be as a model for instruction, modeling, and supporting as a self regulation. So I want to be perfect in my self regulation, then only I can teach self regulation as well as self regulatory skills to my children. See here I have given 12 ways to help build self regulation, like practice mindful activities, practice breathing techniques, give a daily emotion check in, then play self regulation games, give brain breaks between tasks, practice coping tra- strategies, and practice walk time, create a calm down area, create a share journal, then practice self reflection, so role play technique, and develop and practice routines. So, another all the things, presenting students with a goal of each lesson, break down the tasks for them, give them an opportunity to practice, encouraging students to identify the short and long term consequences of their decisions. So these are the main important things which help them to learn what is self regulation. Then eighth point, creativity allows students to identify problems, develop solutions, and evaluate the effectiveness of learning. So it's very, very important to motivate students to think in a creative way. As a teacher, how can we help the students to become a creative? Like encouraging different strategies to answer the same question. The second thing, emphasizing the value of diverse perspective and challenging enthusiasm of real world problems. Then finally, modeling creativity. So apart from this, I have included all other things also. So kindly go through this. Then we are coming to second part. What motivates students? See, in today's world, we are thinking that only social media motivates children. No, but it is motivates children in a negative way. I'll tell you. There are two main types of motivation: intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is when an individual engages in the activity because they find it rewarding. Then extrinsic motivation is a when a person's performance the behavior for an external reward or to avoid punishment. Okay, because students tends to enjoy learning and perform better when they are more int- intrinsically than extrinsically motivated to achieve. So always the motivation comes from within. It should not come from outside. If you continuously motivate from other outside, it is not permanent. So the motivation comes from within. So to bring within what are the things we can do. See, when a motivation comes from within, what is happening, and the people how they used to be. They used to be more enjoyment, greater in academic performance, and less anxiety. So, what are the three things a teacher can do the children to learn intrinsic motivation? First one, using feedback rather than rewards or punishment. Then, second one, communicating deadlines in a way where the students have more choices. Then, third thing, encouraging creativity and some level of surprise. So, these are the three top ways to encourage the students to bring out their motivation from within. Then, the 10th point, students persist in the face of challenging tasks and process information more deeply when they adapt mastery gets rather than the performance goals. See, there are two main types of goals, mastery and performance goals. Students who have mastery goals aim to know the task in order to improve their own ability. However, the students with the performance goals are most focused on doing better than others, or they used to compare others, or they may avoid difficult task. So, in that situation, what shall we do? We have to help the children about the SMART goals, like specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. We have to give delivering evaluations in a private, encouraging students to view mistakes as a opportunities to learn, emphasizing individuals' effort, their current progress, and sharing them with others. Because we usually do this when we distribute the papers. So kindly avoid and given evaluations in a private setting. Then it's very, very important that teachers' expectations also affects the children's learning. Teachers' expectation influence students' opportunity to learn, motivation, and academic performance. Like sometimes the expectations are too low, or sometimes the expectations are high expectations. So it's very, 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 very important to know that what kind of expectations as a teacher I have towards my students. So, for this, what I have to do is I want to do self check, because self, what kind of things blocking me or blocking my relationship between my students and teachers. Then the 12th point, set short term goals first, because short term goals are the step towards or to achieve our long term goals. See, setting short term goals can help improve students. So, as in a specific challenge. For that, what shall we do is walking. Yeah, I don't know for what it's not working. That's okay. I'll use my PPT. My PPT is not.
Ma'am, do you face any problem? Ma'am, any problem?
Ma'am, this, yeah, network problem, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, this PPT is not working actually because of something it stuck. Shall I give them an oral session, ma'am, after this?
One, ma'am, I can't. Presentation.
Yeah, presentation is lacking, ma'am. My actually I went out and I came here
Okay, okay.
because here we are struggling with
You,
rain also, ma'am.
so what do you want? Want to session in?
Yeah, then shall I
We
go
go
through
for
like a
we
screen, share screen,
search skin. Okay.
share screen. With I can give the PPT there itself.
But you have to share your own skin. We can't share anything.
No, my screen only. My screen where I have PPT.
Okay, you can share if you.
Yeah, let's go. Then 13 point. Yeah, yeah. For this goals, for setting goals, it should be like you have to keep written record because it helps you to progress of your goal. Record is very very important. The second thing, you can also help the students to more about the digital goals because when they have short term goals, that helps them to understand digital goals. Then the third principle, learning is situated in a multi-social context because students come from different cultures and backgrounds that influence how they learn. So being aware of this can help the teachers provide more effective teaching and learning interactions within the classroom. Then the more teachers know about the cultural backgrounds, so that helps, they will be able to facilitate effective teaching and learning interactions in their classrooms. So teachers can relate the curriculum to students because that's very very important for cultural backgrounds. So seeking opportunity to participate in the local community also help the students and help the teachers about the students. And finally, establishing connection with the families then can also help enhancing understanding of students cultural experience and facilitate sharing understandings about learning. So the fourth principle, interpersonal relationship and communication are critical to both the teaching learning process and the social emotional development of a students because as a transformation always happens through only effective teacher student relationship. So, teacher student and peer connection are two important interactions that happen within classroom. So, in order to support their development, teachers should provide a safe and secure environment where everyone is clear about their values within a classroom. So, collaboration and discussion within the classroom should also be encouraged. So here I have given which helps to building the positive teacher student relationship. So just to kindly go through this. More than this, what are the things as a teacher we can do is engaging active listening, developing an open mindset, developing a sense of shared identity, prompt students to elaborate on their responses, engage in give and take with other students during discussion. Only teachers used to do talk a lot, but more than one way, give and take with other students, it's a best method to learn. And seek clarification from others, read nonverbal cues, finally provide feedback to enhance skill development. So more effective verbal and non-verbal communication also help the student to learn interpersonal relationship and emotional well-being. Then finally, emotional well-being also influences educational performance, learning, and development. See, what is emotional well-being? We already knew that. So, emotional well-being is a integral to success. Everyday functioning in the classroom and influences academic performance and learning. It is also important to interpersonal relationship, social development, and overall mental health. In what are the way a teacher can facilitate the emotional well-being? The first thing, as a classroom, climate can influence students sense of security. It's very much important that the teachers facilitate emotional development through modeling appropriate emotional expressions, teaching emotion regulatory strategies, and promoting emotional understanding of others. Then 16th point, expectations for classroom contact and social interactions are learned and can be taught using proven principles. Because appropriate social interactions are teach in the beginning of the academic year and reinforced or encouraged throughout the academic year. It is the best to have a proactive disciplinary strategies in a place. Proactive in the sense, look at all the things in a positive way that aim to avoid behavior problems before they occur. So improved social and classroom behavior, and through the problem solving process known as a functional behavioral assessment, has enabled teachers and school psychologists to identify the antecedent incidents and functional relationship associated with inappropriate behavior. So classroom rules and expectations can be taught. Proactive disciplinary strategies that avoid behavior problems. These are the main important things which the teacher should know about, and know about emotional well-being. So, behavior and classroom management, how to prevent? Through preventive interventions, we can prevent behavior and classroom management through positive relationship, safe and predictable environments, peer coaching, classroom organization, and effective teaching. How to intervene? Like remedial intervention is like that. Direct and indirect interventions, behavioral data, behavioral function, and special assistance. Then 17th one, what is effective classroom management? What is effective classroom management in the sense is setting and communicating high expectations, and the second one, consistently nurturing positive relationship, and the third one, providing a high level of student support. So, what a teacher can do. Students profit from a predictable structure and high expectations for both academic achievement and classroom behavior. A safe and well arranged physical environment, a predictable schedule, and rules also brings out the effective classroom management. High expectation, especially when communicated in a punitive manner, never worked out at all. So kindly, if you have a high expectations, kindly look at it whether it is suitable to the student's capacity or not. If it is not possible, kindly avoid punishment. Maintaining a high ratio of positive statements and rewards to negative consequences, as well as expressing respect for all the students and their heritage, builds trust in the classroom. So here we have then 18th point, formative assessment and summative assessment are both important and useful but require different approaches and interpretations. What is this formative and summative assessment? See, this formative assessment always helps students to learn and practice, like throughout the course. Identify the gaps and improve learning. And via approaches that support specific and student needs. What is the summative assessment? Assessments, this assess students' performance, and at the end of the instructional period we can do this assessment, collect evidence of students knowledge, skills and proficiency through exit learning products or a cumulative assessment. This is the 18th point. As a teacher, what can we do for this? Employing formative assessment can result in important increases in student learning when teachers have a clear communication to students the purposes of each learning, and use lessons and other classroom experiences to collect evidence on student learning. And the third thing, use the evidence to help understand what the students know and promptly redirect students are needed. If a students need further explanation, kindly give them and explain back what their doubt is. What about this formative assessment? As a teacher can improve focus systematically on setting goals for their students, determine whether the students have met these goals, consider how to improve their instruction in the future, and subsequent interventions relatively short. So this is a when effects on student learning will be stronger. Then 19th point, always your assessment should have reliability and validity. Because assessment that are both reliability and validity help the test score users make appropriate inferences about students' knowledge, skills, and abilities. The validity assessment, how we want to do validation. The following questions are very, very important. The first question, how much of what you want to measure is actually being measured? How much of what you did not intend to measure is actually being measured? What are the intended and unintended consequences of the assessment? Finally, what is the evidence do you have to support your answers to the first three questions? So these are the main things for validating your assessment. As a teacher, what you should do, carefully aligning assessments with what is taught. Don't go beyond what you taught. The second thing, using item analysis to target questions that are too hard or too easy are not used. So example, 100% of students answered correctly. So this item analysis very, very important. So in a target questions, kindly focus whether the students know the answer or not. So using item analysis to target questions, it's very, very important. Being mindful that tests that are valid for one use or setting may not be valid for another one. Basing high stakes decision on multiple measures instead of a single test. Within a single test, you should not assess the students because it's never give a full result. So kindly make a high stakes decisions on multiple measures. So monitoring outcomes to determine whether there is a consistent discrepancies across performance or outcomes of the students from the different cultural groups. Finally, 20, last point, making a sense of assessment data depends on clear, appropriate, and fair interpretation. So, scorings from any assessment should generally be used only for the specific purpose for which they were designed. As a teacher, what should we do is that what was the assignment intended to measure? The second thing, what comparisons are the assignment data based on? Are students being compared to one another? Instead, are the students' responses being directly compared to the samples of acceptable or non-acceptable responses that the teacher or the others have provided? Then final one, what are the criteria for cut points or standards? Are the students' scores being classified using a standard or cut point, or such as a pass fail category, letter grades, or some other indicator of satisfactory or non-satisfactory performance? So finally, the above principles, which step have you reached? Whether I won't do it, I can't do it, I want to do it, how do I do it? I'll try to do it, I can to do it, I will to do it, yes, I did it. So kindly check in which part you are right now. The above principles are not set in stone, and no doubt in years to come may be deviated, but for now these potentially offer a firm foundation for future learning. Thank you is the best prayer that everyone would say. I say that one a lot. Thank you expresses extreme gratitude, humility, and understanding. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful presentation. Now it's time for our quiz session. After completed our quiz session, we come back again in our question answer session. Okay, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Dear participants, time for our quiz. To join this session, you have to go slido.com, then you have to enter the code, and the code is IGP2. And don't forget to mention your friends to join our quiz session. After short video, we will start our quiz session. So let's enjoy our quiz session. Dear participant, it's time for our quiz session. To join this session, you have to go slido.com, then you have to enter the code, and the code is IGP2. We will pick your name from Slido, so join with your full name, which will directly print on certificates, and top 10 will be awarded with quiz completion certificates. Now start our quiz session. Our first question is scientific of observing scientific of observing behavior and expression by principle of learning. First option cognitive psychology, second option behavior psychology. And the correct answer is behavior psychology, and 68% people are right. And our top ranker is Joel Apriscio Barnasser. Second question, a study of how psychological process affect and can be enhanced teaching and learning. First option, developing psychology. Second option, educational psychology. And the correct answer is educational psychology, and 56% people are right. Our top ranker is Joel Barnaso Dari Kota. A three-round question, different views from biological, psychological, social culture for analyzing and phoneme. First option, views of psychology, and second option, levels of analysis. The correct answer is levels of analysis, and 49% people are right. And our top ranker is MSAV. Fourth now question, techniques for learning the attitude or behaviors of a group by questioning a random people. First option survey, second option experiment. And the correct answer is survey, and 89% people are right. And again our top ranker is MSAV. Now we go for our fifth now question. Social psychology is the first option, the study of how psychological process affect and help teaching or learning. And second option, the study of how each person's behavior is influenced by those around them. And the correct answer is second option, the study of how each person's behavior is influenced by those around them. And now our top ranker is General Villa Restoration. Now we go our sixth now question. Binocular hue for perceiving depth by comparing images from both eyes, brain computers distance. First option deep perception, second option rational disparity. And the correct answer is second option rational disparity, and 37% people are right. And now our top ranker is Joel Barnasol Dedi Kotha Valencia. Our seventh question, what really is psychology? First option scientific study of action and emotion. Second option scientific study of mind and behavior. And the correct answer is scientific study of mind and behavior. And 97% people are right. Our ethno question: what is evolutionary psychology? First option is study of how mental process enable people to adapt to their environment. Second option, study of behavior, thoughts, and feelings through time. And the correct answer is second option, study of behavior, thoughts, and feelings through time. And 69% people are right. Our ninth question: what is clinical psychology? First option, study learning, teaching, and children's behavior in a school setting. Second option, assess or treat mental, emotional, and behavioral disorders. And the correct answer is assess, treat, or treat mental, emotional, and behavioral disorders. And 82% people are right. And our last question: what did Sigmund Freud contribute to psychology? First option, focus on psychoanalysis and mental illness. Second option, focus on behavior, thoughts, and behavior through time. And the correct answer is first option, focus on psychoanalysis and mental illness. And 68% people are right. Congratulations, Daniel Wheeler. He is our top ranker. Then in our second position, Joel Barnasor. In third position, MS of Avi. In fourth position, Rosalinda. In fifth position, Joel F. Barnasor. Congratulations, our top 10 quiz competition winner. We have all of your name which you entered during joining. We will pick and prepare certificate and will post them on our Facebook official page. Our Facebook official page is Institution of Global Professional. And now it's time for our question answer session. Participants are requested to ask their question in comment box and please address speaker name. Now after short video, we'll start our question answer session. So let's enjoy our session. Welcome back, everyone. Now it's time for our question answer session. We'll go ahead and take some time for question now. So just a reminder, please be sure to type your question into our comment box. Uh, Welcome back, ma'am, in our question answer session.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah.
Ma'am, our first question from Flomi. Good afternoon, ma'am. What advantage does passive learning have over active learning?
Oh, what are the advantages?
Ma'am, do you hear me?
Ma'am, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, I can hear, but our first question
Ma'am?
from Flomi. Our first question from Flomi. Good afternoon, ma'am. What advantage does passive learning have over active learning?
Uh, yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So you can give your answer.
So the question is, what are the advantages does passive?
What advantages does passive learning have over active learning?
Yeah.
Ma'am, we can't hear you. Mm, ma'am, we can't hear
Now,
you. Um,
now, no. Ma'am, can you hear me now?
yes, now I can hear you.
Ma'am?
Yes, now I can hear you. I think there is a network problem.
Ma'am, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear. Yes, yes, ma'am.
Really, I'm so sorry.
But I
Yeah.
think you have a network
See,
problem.
actually, our passive learning, we are learning through our senses. Yeah. Through senses, we are learning our passive learning. But active learning involves 70 learning. Ma'am,
Okay,
can you
ma'am.
hear me?
Yes, but I think
Yeah.
there is
See,
a
in passive,
some network issue, so network problem.
so what shall I do, ma'am? Yeah,
Okay,
it's
no problem.
here we are expecting a rain, ma'am. So,
Okay, okay, okay. I can understand. No problem. Ma'am, our second question from Arun. Good afternoon, ma'am. How can we improve our creative thinking skills?
See, it's very difficult for me. I am unable
Oh,
to connect with you all.
I I understand that.
Ma'am, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, I would like to answer the for the first question.
First question.
First question. See, he asked me, no, the learning. What are the advantages of passive learning over active learning?
Okay, ma'am. You can
Yeah.
answer.
See, actually, the learning process is the process which helps us to develop and grow. In a school setting, we have lots and lots of learning system, but most of the schools have it. In general, in schools, the learning system is the same thing. But what is the I would like to say what are the advantages and disadvantages of active learning and passive learning, that it is easy for him to understand what are the advantages and disadvantages. See, active learning is a student centered approach to learn, in which students can participate in activities and discussions to help them in a better understand the topic. So what are the advantages of active learning is that one of the main benefits of active learning is that students students can enjoy, because when they are learning through activities, so they can participate more in analysis and the synthesis of information, and they develop their critical thinking skill also. So active learning engages students more, and they learn real world applications for the information. So what are the advantages of passive learning is that in passive learning, an instructor can communicate is a great deal of information to students only once. So passive learning also builds writing and organizational and listening skills. So the difference is that in active listening, the students are very active, but in a passive learning, they are learning through instructor alone. So that are the main two difference. So here we can both have advantages and disadvantages. So in regarding active learning, no, it has like, no, it is easy to last focus in active learning. In comparing active learning and passive learning, much less information is transmitted in active learning. And another very important is that active learning can also be more difficult for teachers who have less control over how the lesson proceeds and may need an adaptable lesson plan. Then the disadvantages of passive learning is that it can be very boring for children, and leave them unengaged in the topic when there is only instructor giving an uh, giving, or when they are teaching. So there might be fewer opportunities for teachers to assess students comprehension. So it's very very important, where there is a learning there should be active listening plus passive listening.
Okay, ma'am. Our second question
Okay.
from Arun. Good afternoon, ma'am. How can we improve our creative thinking skills?
Yeah. For I would like to say in seven method, the first one, suspending advocacy of your own idea to push for another person concept, because it's very helpful to be able to come into a creative situation and to demonstrate your willingness to be a champion another person's idea. So it can open the way to getting others to support your thinking as well. The second idea is that putting your own idea to the same test you apply to an idea from someone else. Because when it comes to your own ideas, it is easy to be very hypocritic and apply all kinds of curdles to other ideas while letting your own thinking slide by unchallenged in your own mind. So, just one thing to remember, don't become somebody known for doing this. Then, third method is that combining two different ideas and making them better as an one idea, because we usually do this when in cooking and all, no, we used to do the same thing. In that method, the best method, the third method, when we combining two different ideas and making them better as an one idea. Then fourth point is that letting someone else take ownership of your own idea in order to build support for it. So this skill really tests whether you believe so strongly in an idea you are willing to let someone else step up and take it on as their own idea to see it prevail. So the key to seeing your idea win out can be letting somebody else be the vocal proponent for it. Then fifth idea is that displaying the patience to wait for someone else to say what needs to be said. So all you have to do is agree. Then sixth point, sticking to your guns amid challenges to your creative idea, which makes solid strategic sense. See, there are many creative ideas which will being really cool, have nothing to do with what you are trying to achieve and how you should be achieving it. When confronted with others who are passionately arguing for high creative yet hardly strategic concepts, make and remake your case if the idea if you are advocating is on the mark strategically. The seventh one, always looking for new creative skills to develop in yourself and those who around you. Don't depend upon only on others. So these all are the seven methods said by Mike Brown.
Um, Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answer. Uh, Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope there is no more question. Thank you from bottom of my heart for taking time from your busy schedule to be the speaker at our session. Your presence and wise word help magnify our cause in the best possible way. All thanks to your enlightened words. Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope everyone can learn from your webinar uh, and give your precious time and share your valuable knowledge. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Dear participant, now it's time to give you our webinar code. Today's program name is Top Principle from Psychology for Teaching and Learning, and the code is IGP 7560. and the code is IGP7665. Here participate. Our today's webinar code is IGP7565. Without code, no one is eligible for certificate. With code, you can claim your certificate anytime. Thank you so much everyone for your active participation. I hope everyone can learn from our session. See you again in our next session. Till that you stay happy and blessed. Thank you so much.